Today, as the title implies, I want to talk about my BFS setup going to 2022. Around this time last year, I actually did a video just like this, and I talked about BFS and my setup, and a lot of you guys actually seem to really enjoy that video. So you guys that are new to the channel are probably wondering, what the heck are you talking about? What is BFS? Are you trying to cuss me out? Is that an acronym for a bad word? Hold up, man, just chill out. It is not. It stands for Bait Finesse System. And Bait Finesse System, BFS, started way back in Japan in many years ago, because the Japanese anglers figured out a way to catch those highly prized big game fish in highly pressure water. Because Japan's a small island, they figured to use really small micro lures. Fast forward to today, which we call BFS, and it's actually really taken America by storm, obviously, right? Because a lot of you guys are really interested in BFS, just by the views that I got on my videos about BFS fishing. And a little bit background information about me. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm a saltwater inshore kayak fishing YouTuber. I target redfish, flounder, speckled trout off the Texas coast, and I figured in order to catch these fish in my Galveston, Houston home area, which is highly populated, highly pressured, I figured to use small micro lures to catch these big fish, which leads me to the point of today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about exactly my setups that I have back here. I want to show you exactly what I'm using for 2022. Now keep in mind, BFS is constantly changing, meaning there's always brand new reels from manufacturers coming out for the year. And that's not to say that this is my permanent rig for the year per se, because as new ones come out, I always try to implement them on my channel, because I'm always looking for the best and newest thing. And quite frankly, I'm just a real junkie. Hope you guys understand. But without further ado, why do I say BFS is here in America, is here to stay? Because number one, SHIMANO, one of the biggest reel manufacturers in the world, actually came out with a BFS model that's designated for the United States. And what is that model? That model is a brand new SHIMANO CURADO BFS, which came out in 2021. And that's going to be my first setup that I want to show you guys today. So when I heard SHIMANO is coming out with a CURADO BFS, as you see right in front of you, this setup right here is a freaking beast. I wouldn't say it's the best setup to throw the super ultralight stuff. I can throw 1/8 ounce without any issues. When I get down to a 1/16 ounce, meaning 1/16 the total weight, I'm not talking about just the jig head itself or a 1/16 ounce hook hooked onto a worm or anything like that. I'm talking about 1/16 ounce total. It does struggle a little bit. Reason why being is because the spool itself, I mean, it is shallow, but it's not going to be the lightest thing in the world. And I actually did a comprehensive review on the SHIMANO CURADO BFS, showing me catching big redfish on this little light setup. And it's been a pleasure, trust me. I still have it on my lineup. If I don't like it, trust me, I get rid of it really fast. I'm a real addict, a fishing reel addict. And I won't hesitate to get rid of something if I don't really like it. But SHIMANO CURADO BFS has been in my lineup ever since it's come out. I've had this for about 6 months now, and it's been a pleasure to fish with. I do have it set up with an Old 18 ultralight suppressor rod, the BFS rod, which I highly recommend. The CURADO BFS is very versatile, meaning you can throw ultralight lures like 1/8 ounce, no issues at all. And you can throw heavier lures like a 1/4 ounce flats bug. 1/4 ounce, I would say, is probably pushing it, especially if you have thin line like this BFS 1.0 gauge. But nonetheless, it's very versatile. I do highly recommend it. Yeah, I really love this setup, man. It's a really nice inshore saltwater fishing setup, as well as you can use freshwater. It's very smooth. CURADO, love the color scheme, dark green. I don't see myself getting rid of this for 2022. And I see myself catching more big redfish, speckled trout, and flounder. All right, keeping up with the American theme right here. This is the KASTKING ZEPHYR BFS, and I actually just purchased this reel with my own money. I got it from Amazon. Once again, direct link in the description box below. And I've caught a couple of fish with it, but not to say that I've really put it through its paces. And I know a lot of you guys have actually really liked this reel because it's a budget BFS reel. This reel is under 100 bucks, $79, because this is the clicker model, meaning that it has a drag clicker, as you can hear, like that. It's been a pleasure so far. I mean, the ergonomics is not the best compared to the SHIMANO CURADO BFS. For example, I don't really like where the clutch button is, and I feel like my thumb is all over the spool before the button. I like to feel the button before I feel the spool. I might be a little bit different from you guys, but that's just the way I'm comfortable with bait casting reels. It's a little bit bigger than the CURADO BFS. It's a little bit heavier. It casts really good to my surprise. I can throw a 1/8 ounce, no problem at all. 1/16 ounce, once again, just like the CURADO BFS, it's going to struggle a little bit, even though I have thin Verivest 1.2 gauge line. It still struggles, but 1/8 ounce, man, it can just fling it for yards. And I was really impressed, especially into the wind. It is a little bit finicky. I'm going to be honest with you. You have to mess with the braking system in order to get it to what it likes. But so far, so good. I like it. It's a great little reel, budget friendly. This whole setup right here is under $200 right now. This rod is, I think it's on sale for 99 bucks. And I also have a discount code you can use for old 18. This is going to stay in my setup for 2022, and I am going to do a thorough review. I just need to catch some big fish with it. This is a SHIMANO ALDEBARAN BFS model, and this model has been out since 2017, I think. I have it paired up with an old 18 suppressor ultralight BFS rod. This thing is a freaking tank, man. If you want something, if you are concerned about throwing super micro ultralight lures, I'm talking about 1/16 ounce total, maybe even lower, because I've never tested it even lower, but I know some other YouTubers have. This is the reel to get because it's so, the spool is shallow, it's so lightweight, it's very well engineered. I mean, the braking system is ingenious, the ball bearings are smooth. I mean, this overall with the drag clicker is God, it's a beast, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is pretty expensive. If you're looking for a high-end SHIMANO BFS reel, this is probably the one you want to look at. It's very lightweight. I think it has CI4 components in it, therefore reducing the weight size. And I mean, you can throw this all freaking day without getting any fatigue. And it's a really small profile. And if you guys are worried about catching big fish, have no fear. This thing catches big redfish. I've caught so many big medium slots to upper slot redfish. If you guys know what redfish are, I mean, they fight like hell, and they give your reel a good testing per se. And this has been tested many times over in the salt water, okay, the marsh water, where it's freaking dirty, brackish water, mud mixed with oyster and pollution and chemicals. Galveston, Houston, you know, I've never had any issues. I honestly don't think I've ever really 100%, you know, thoroughly maintain it, meaning, you know, taking it to a one of my guys that, you know, thoroughly cleans, takes it apart. I've never done that yet. All I did is add a little bit of oil here and there, and it's still ticking like nothing. It's a very smooth, very quiet. I love the ergonomics on this. I love how the button, the clutch button, is there before I'm hitting the line, the spool itself. I just love this reel, man. ALDEBARAN BFS is one of my favorite reels. That's why I still have it in my lineup, and I don't see myself getting rid of it anytime soon unless they come out with a new ALDEBARAN. When you talk about BFS, you can't ignore Daiwa. Daiwa is one of those main big companies that really focus on BFS, and a lot of their models that they have in the Asian market, you know, reflects that. So today I want to talk about the Daiwa BFS Air TW, and this reel setup, ladies and gentlemen, with the old 18 suppressor ultralight, honestly, it's probably one of my favorite setups. And if I'm going to do BFS and I need versatility, this is the reel I really want to take on me on my voyage to target those big redfish, flounder, and speckled trout. Reason why, because once again, it's very versatile, meaning if I want to throw like up to a 1/16 ounce, believe it or not, this can really fling a small lure. 1/16 ounce, something less than that, probably not, but 1/16 ounce in total, this would be the guy you want. And it's not terribly expensive. It's pretty much the same price as the ALDEBARAN BFS. And I love this thing, man. It packs a lot of great features in it. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a drag clicker. I wish it did, but it doesn't have a drag clicker. The size is really nice. It fits really nicely in my hand. Ergonomics is great. I love the looks of it. Love the color scheme. And the button, the clutch button, guess what? It doesn't touch, my thumb doesn't touch the spool before I touch the button itself. And it's, once again, it's ergonomic. And I've caught a lot of big redfish on this BFS Air TW, and I believe I've made a comprehensive review, and I'll post it up here somewhere so you guys check it out. It's a great reel, no doubt in my mind. That's why I haven't gotten rid of it for 2021 or 2022. Inshore saltwater fishing, no problem at all. It's actually designed for saltwater fishing too because of the aluminum frame. I mean, this thing, it's not the lightest thing because it's aluminum frame, unfortunately, but it's small enough and it's able to throw those micro lures and the heavy lures. So I do highly recommend the ALDEBARAN Air TW. If you're only going to pick up one, this is probably one of those rigs you want to take a hard look at, especially with the rod setup. All right, so this right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably, as of right now, early 2022, this is probably my favorite setup, mainly probably because it's brand new. I just got it in. I've had it for less than a month. Man, I actually love this. This is the Daiwa Gekkabijin, hopefully I'm saying that right, Air TW, and this is the newly designed BFS reel. And honestly, I think, in my honest opinion, this is a little bit shrunken down of the ALDEBARAN Air TW. Let me show you guys. I honestly truly believe that this Gekkabijin is a smaller version of this right here. And that to me is great news because even though I love the ergonomics of the ALDEBARAN Air TW, the Gekkabijin is it just fits better in my hand, and I really feel like it just fits like a glove. And just the design of it, the subtle like Japanese writing, it's glossy black with red accents. This thing, man, I love it. I really love it. And I've only used it a handful of times. Unfortunately, I haven't caught a big redfish per se, but that time is coming, so just stay tuned. Yeah, I love this reel. I've used it so far inshore, no problems at all. It's still brand new in my honest opinion. It's so smooth. It does come with a drag clicker, whereas the ALDEBARAN Air TW did not come with a drag clicker. Last but not least, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a Daiwa, this is not Shimano, it's not a KASTKING. This is the Abu Garcia Ultracast BF8, and I've had this over a year now in my setup. And to be honest with you, I don't use it as much, but that's not to say that I don't like this setup. I just find it kind of buried beneath all my other reels. Once again, I'm not saying it's a bad reel or anything because I still have it. Once again, if I don't like it, I will get rid of it because I'm a reel addict and I always replenish my reels. And I've kept this in my lineup because I actually enjoy this Abu Garcia. It's very smooth. The castability on this thing is amazing. It can really cast small little lures. You can see right here, guys. This is the new Ned rig from Bugs. I think this is the 1/16th ounce if I'm not mistaken. But I'm able to throw this thing without any issues with good distance. And this has been a joy to catch big fish on. I did catch a few reds on it without any issues. Come with a drag clicker, just like every other BFS reel, minus the ALDEBARAN Air TW. The ergonomics is not going to be the best per se when I compare it to the Daiwa ALDEBARAN Air or the Gekkabijin or the Shimano CURADOs, ALDEBARANs. It's not going to be the best. It is a little bit heavier compared to the other BFS reels, but this is one of those, I would call them a budget BFS reel. This would probably be a good competitor versus the CURADO BFS that's out in the United States. Out of all the BFS reels, it has a really low profile, even though it's a bigger reel, so it doesn't feel as big compared to the other reels, even though on paper it is bigger. And I do highly recommend you guys check it out because it's not too bad of a price. And it's one of those reels that if you are looking to get a BFS reel or get yourself into BFS to throw ultralights or maybe even a little heavier setup, you know, versatility, this is probably one of those reels that you want to take a hard look at. Let me remind you guys, if you're going to use BFS, all right, you go buy one of these reels, you can't put the thick freaking Power Pro like 15, 20 pound line. You cannot do that. It won't work. That line is too heavy. You won't be able to throw small lures and you're going to chunk your reel and set up into the water because you get so frustrated. Look into small ultralight, small thin line, just like from Verivas, like this model you see right here. This is a 1.0 gauge. This is probably what I would recommend for majority of the BFS reels you saw today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. I want to hear your thoughts and your opinions, and I love every single one of you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.